Rajneesh Kumar. He is an Indian banker. He is the chairman of State Bank of India. We'll be taking a look at his hand. Before we start this particular video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can get a paid palmistry reading from me. You can call me or you can email me. And now we straight away head to this particular palmistry video. For any banker, the most important area is the mount of Mercury, that is the little finger, the fourth finger. You will notice in his hand that there's a long line that is kind of targeting towards the mount of Mercury, and if we zoom in on the hand image, there's also a line just under the mount of Mercury. So this is basically considered to be a good sign. Why it is said so? It's basically a good sign because the area of mount of Mercury should have the least amount of lines, and if there are lines, they should be perpendicular in nature. The amount of Mercury basically represents communication skills, calculations, and statistical economic sense. So all these things basically come to this particular person with these particular lines. Many people might have crisscrossing lines over this particular area, crisscrossing lines, and it's kind of a grill-like formation. And a grill-like formation is generally not considered to be a good sign under the mount of Mercury. We do not see this particular sign on his hands. I'm just telling you, if a person has the chances are that the person is going to miscalculate and miscommunicate. Also notice in his case, basically the heart line. The heart line is the line basically which is running parallel with the fingers. This particular line that I'm referring to. This particular line in his case is very deep and clear without any branches over it. Many people might have these kind of branches over their heart line. Branches over the heart line or a line that is unclear. Unclear basically means a line that is not showing clarity in it. Some people might have this kind of a line. So this kind of a line or dual kind of a line, basically it's not considered to be a good sign. The person would not know what they want to do, and they would kind of they would be in one business, then they would leave that. They would be in one job and they would leave that. They would be in one particular relationship and they would leave that particular relationship. So there's no consistency in a particular person's life with the heart line not being singular and deep and clear. And some people might also have these constant branches over it. It's constant. It's a very, very unclear kind of a line. But in this particular case, you would notice that the heart line is very distinct and clear. Whenever we find this particular kind of an indication, it basically signifies that the person practices detachment. Detachment, basically what the meaning of detachment is, being in the moment without having expectation of the outcome. This is what Gita says. Gita is our holy book that says that you have to practice detachment. This is when the best basically comes out. People who practice attachments, like the heart line has got many, if heart line has got many branches over it, that would mean that the person has attachments, and attachments bring in expectations. Expectations are not fulfilled, and that is the reason why disappointments basically creep in. Take a look out here. You would notice that the headline and the lifeline are joined together for a long duration of time. This is the line of head and this is basically the line of life. You would notice that both these lines are tied up together for a very long distance. Normally it is not like that. I would just show you what other people might have. They might have a headline like this and the lifeline something like this. They might also have a lifeline that is separated something like this. So there's a gap between. Whenever there's a gap between the head and the lifeline, it means that those people are very rash, outgoing, and never missing out on opportunities. But in this particular case, you would notice that both lines are tied down together for a very long duration of time. Such a person would be extremely hardworking, very cautious, and contemplating as well. Such people might get success in the later period of their life, and such people basically are they might miss out on many opportunities in the earlier period, but as they grow older, they would basically benefit because of their consistency. It's not that some luck is shining, it's because of their consistency that things are becoming better and better and better. See, this is one of the best signs to have, but it would not give a person early success. It would give a person success in the later period of their life. Notice the heart line is deep and clear, signifying ability to manage stress. So I will just redraw them. I missed out this particular point while describing the heart line. Whenever the person has got such a line, deep and clear, it means that the person would be able to handle stress very well. They don't keep stress. It doesn't mean that no stress is going to come in their life, no challenges is going to come in their life. It doesn't mean that. It means that whatever challenges, whatever hardships might come to this particular person's life, the person is not going to have palpitation and stress and anxiety. So bigger the challenge, the better basically his life basically becomes. So this is a beautiful aspect to have. A little bit negative aspect is that towards the end, the heart line is ending somewhere close to the headline. So this is the negative aspect. Basically, it means that the person might have misplaced affections. Misplaced affection means giving affection, time, effort, energy, money to people who are not worth their affection. Another negative aspect to this particular heart line is that this heart line is a little bit long, and whenever it reaches the mount of Jupiter, it basically signifies that the person is very idealistic, very sensitive, and these people do get hurt easily. Branchless line also mean that there are no branches over the heart line. It also means that the person is not carrying the extra baggage of the past disappointments. So even this is considered to be a good sign. Notice the perfect line of Mars or supporting lifeline, also known as guardian angel line. Let me basically draw it over the hand image. This is basically the lifeline, and you would notice another line that is running parallel to the lifeline. Inside the lifeline, starting from the mount of Mars, this is Mars negative. This is just the name. It doesn't mean that this is negative Mars. This area basically signifies anger, aggression, and fire. So it doesn't mean that that such people are having total anger. It just means that these people have got fighting spirit. Mars basically signifies anger, aggression, and fire. So another quality is fighting spirit, the spark within this particular person. Many people might have been after him. Many people would want to basically pull him down, but they would never be able to pull him down. This line of Mars is basically a protection against bad health, protection against difficult people, difficult situations, and coming out as winners. So this particular line, whenever the person might have, it basically protects this particular person's, and basically what it does, it is basically the person is able to re-spark their life at any given moment of time. See, what happens is that sometimes our life goes for a tailspin, and we basically are left with nothing. So even if their lives get destroyed completely, even then they would be able to stand up and re-spark their life, reignite their life. See, sometimes what happens is that some engines, like a car engine, their spark plug basically goes bad, and that is the reason why the car would not start in spite of the car being very like it's a recently purchased car. But such a person would have their spark plug intact all throughout their life. So this is again a beautiful sign to have. Lastly, notice a line under mount of sun going in between sun and the Mercury finger. Let me basically first draw this particular line out here. You would notice this particular line that is going in between. This is the finger of sun, this is the area of mount of sun, and this is basically the area of Mercury. So Mercury is skill for banking people. This area is very necessary for, see, medical science, engineering, and business or communication skills. All these things come from this particular area, and the sun area is basically for your career. So the line of sun that is penetrating from the Saturn area, this is basically the Saturn area, and then straight is slowly going between the finger of sun and the Mercury, basically gets all three qualities. The quality of the Saturn is basically money, this is basically career, and pointing towards Mercury basically signifies communication and calculations. So in all three ways it is considered to be a beautiful sign to have. These lines should be deep and clear and singular. The deeper they are, the better it is considered to be, because deep lines means that the person is giving intensity to their work, and that is the reason why it is considered to be a good sign. The person also has got a money triangle like formation. This is the money line, this is the line of Mercury, and this is the headline. So this is basically considered to be a good sign, pointing towards three fingers. Saturn is money, this is Saturn is money, this is sun, and at the same time Mercury is the skill. So all these three areas bring all the qualities that he basically needs. So that's it for this particular reading. I hope you liked this particular video. If you like this video, click on the like button. Money line is not everything. People think money, possessions, and wealth is going to come only through the money line. Money line is just a small part of the reading. 10-15% of your money might come from the money line, but there are other lines like the heart line, the headline, the lifeline, the sun, Mercury. All these areas are important for money matters. And a saint once said, you do not need to go to an astrologer or palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is a result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts, keep good company. That's what is going to take you much higher in life, much more successful in life. Bye and take care.